After dominating the college football landscape, claiming 3 natties, Coach Barry Bearington knew he needed a new challenge. And frankly, the New York Giants needed a man to step into that building and reconstruct them from the bottom to the top. And that was a challenge that Coach Bearington couldn't deny. Heading to the NFL and into a team who's going to be playing in a tough division. But there is some promise around this team. The defensive line is a group to focus on. Coach will rely on them. But he wants to use his ability to grow a unit. And that will be focused on the offensive side, where there are a few promising guys, Scattaboo being one. But through the preseason, there was things to take care of and decisions that Coach would have to make. First one already being with tight end 2 coming, demanding that he become the starter. Coach settles him down, say, you play well, you will earn your spot. That's the big thing around here, earning your spot with Coach Bearington. But Coach also got to work rather early on, starting to make some deals. In a trade with the Broncos, he sent Jameis Winston as well as a 6th-round pick in return, landing Drew Sanders. In a trade with the Washington Commanders, we sent Devin Singletary and a 5th-round pick in return, landing a 3rd. But we also saw Coach make the tough decisions here when the preseason came to a close in making a lot of releases. But he also used what money we had to bring in a couple key free agents. Eric Kendricks joins us, another guy to that linebacker core. Star Dev still here at 33 years old. He still has some good athleticism, a solid tackler. He could shed some blocks. Coverage is not exactly what it used to be, but he could still pick off a pass or two. And in addition to adding help in the secondary, Asante Samuel Jr. joins us, 25 years old, another star dev. He has good balance between man and zone. He lacks that press ability. Tackling is a little bit concerning. We'll see how he can play in the slot. If he doesn't perform, we also have float. But he also wasn't just looking at free agents. A surprise practice squad addition for the Patriots in Kayshon Boutte. It would be a project. He has struggled over his first couple seasons, but once again with a thin receiving core, he could be a great addition. He has the ability to take over for Slayton on the outside. With the short and medium focus, some decent release and catch in traffic ability. And of course, we also saw Coach reorganize almost the entire offensive line. Schmitz Jr. is the only one staying at his spot. Evan Neal shifts down from right tackle. Andre Thomas moves from left over to right. Van Rotten from right guard to left guard, and Runyon from left guard to left tackle. And potential trades are not done. Kayvon Thibodeau is 3rd on the depth chart here in total edge rushers. He is someone who could be dealt in his final contract year. We also have the aging vet in Jermaine Illuminor, 30 years old. He is still a plug-and-play kind of guy, so if a team is needy, we can look to deal, but for now, he stays on roster as our overall offensive line depth. And Coach Bearington may also look to move on from Roy Robertson Harris, another older guy, 32 years old at DT. There are some depth players who could look to see some playing time here, so Robertson would have to move on for that. I think it's time to get Coach Bearington's time here with the Giants officially underway as we play our first NFC East rivalry game, Week 1 on the road against the Commanders in a tough matchup favoring Washington. So as we hit the field here in Landover, Maryland, we are set to kick this season off. And with the Giants only picking up 3 wins last year, we need just 3 for a better year this year. And Lane will take this one. Down the middle, looking to cut outside. A clean tackle coming in from the safety starter in Holland. And Jaden Daniels taking the field with the Commanders to kickstart our season. The defense taking the field, a lot of promising players on this side. Eric Kendricks will be next to Bobby Okereke to kickstart this season. And Daniels slides down in front of said linebacker. He's become almost a little bit of a journeyman himself late on in his career. Prime was great in Minnesota, and a sack comes in from Sexy Dexy to kick us off. Make it a 3rd and 10, Dexter Lawrence. It was a pretty quiet preseason for him, but that's a great way to get us going here. Needing to get off the field here, get the ball over to the offense. Defense looking for a stop. Daniels scrambles. Asante Samuel Jr. comes in to clean it up. 4th and 2, and that should be a punt forced here. A quick stop on the defense's first possession. For the Giants offense, it will be Russell Wilson heading out, your starting quarterback. Tracy will be in the backfield. There were talks of potential drama at that quarterback spot with Jackson Dart. Good preseason. And coach has talked about the fact that he should see some playing time this year, but Wilson has it for now as Tracy doesn't pick up a thing on first down. 2nd and 10. Rolling to the right-hand side here and throwing. Finding Robinson, who spins off one before getting decked. And that leaves the Giants with a 3rd and 2. Shotgun look, neighbors in motion. Heading behind Wilson. A little bit of some misdirection for Tracy, who explodes down the middle for the first down. So far, no Cameron Scattaboo. Again, Coach Bearington has referred to him as being the 3rd down back, the power back. But it's been Tracy so far with some hit and miss play with the blocking as Van Rotten down on the field here for the Giants. Well, the good news is he makes his way to the sideline rather than to the tunnel. Illuminor checks in there over at the left guard spot with 2 spread to the left-hand side. A little bit of some pump fake and throwing off the arm of the DT. Pressure found its way through on the left side. Again, the new starter at left tackle over there. Switching from left guard, but a pure pass blocker. The fit just seemed right. And into double coverage. Slayton not able to get a touch on that one. Wilson hit as he releases, and with a 4th and 14, we're looking at a punt ourselves. So both defenses standing strong out the gate as we move into the 2nd possession. Only a 1-gamer here today for the New York Giants, kicking off their season. The running back motions over to make it a diamond set basically to the left-hand side. And Zebo Samuel shaken off of a couple tackle attempts. Overall, picking up a gain of 8. And Robinson here on the carry. A massive hit as Nubin steps down from his free safety spot, lighting him up. That ball is on the turf and recovered by the New York Giants. Our first turnover in the defense, putting in all the work here today. Sets up the offense to take over inside the 30 as they come out 2 plus the tight end to the right-hand side. Handing this one off with open spaces down the middle. Tracy weaving, fighting down inside the 3 for goal to go. And that, I think, is why we are still seeing Tracy out there. Not a Scattaboo appearance yet. With the I form here, Tracy trying to finish off what he started. Jukes by the blitzer and has the end zone. A 2-play drive following that forced turnover from the safety in Nubin. The sophomore safety at that. A big response here for the Giants in Coach Bearington's first game, the NFL. But it's not all fun and games. A little while later here, under pressure, Russell Wilson throws the interception to Bobby Wagner, the former teammate of Russell Wilson, this time taking it away. And just a couple plays later, Daniels would quick find Noah Brown taking a hit to cross that goal line, tying this game up 7 apiece. We'd later find a little bit of some revenge as Eric Kendricks gets the pick. Devin Singletary, the former Giant, the intended target, and the 1-week signee, makes the big play. With the booth hopefully all sorted from there, we can continue on here in normal fashion with a 3rd and 12. Bunch to the right-hand side. Wilson tries the hard count there, but to no avail. Got to find the first down here. He throws right side. That's Johnson. Close, but a little bit short. A 4th and 2. But Coach Bearington, known for being aggressive at Stanford, he keeps that offense on the field. Only 3 wins last year. Got to be a little bit aggressive this year. Bobby Wags stuffs him in the gap. That came down to about half a yard from converting the 4th down. And the veteran linebacker shows why he's one of the best to put on the uniform. We'll see if a little of that momentum swing can finally kickstart one of these offenses. Both have struggled to complete drives. Turnovers have really been the only way they've gotten into plus side, as it's a gain of 2 there from Robinson. Everything, for the most part, has been kept underneath. One deep shot to Terry McLaurin earlier was broken up. 2nd and 8 here is going to be caught. Noah Brown, his 2nd catch of the day, his only other being a touchdown. And it was the underneath coverage that definitely was a problem in the preseason, which is why Coach Barrington did bring in Kendricks, as well as Asante Samuel Jr., just trying to add some to the bunch. Burns stuck in there on the stop, as well as Asante Samuel Jr. Means no gain there on first. 2nd and 10. As they go to Robinson, he shakes off a tackle of Okereke. And it is the DBs tag teaming for the stop. Paulson Adebo. You've got a couple Stanford men on this team, including the head coach, Bobby Okereke, Paulson Adebo. Look to see if any more get added as this series goes along. It's Singletary shaking the tackle of McFadden. And he has the first down. That is the first 3rd down here, especially of longer distance that this defense gives up as we move inside the 2-minute warning. Washington will look to go back to the passing game, where Daniels again sliding down here. He picks up 4. Most of his scrambles have been rather short and quick, nothing too long so far. Defense doing a relatively good job of keeping contained. Pass outside is missed. The Giants once again forcing a 3rd down here with 2 to the left-hand side here. For the Commanders, throw is across the middle, and Debo showing a burst of speed. He gets to the outside, and that's now 2 straight 3rd down conversions. As we approach a minute mark here, they snap that ball inside 5 seconds on the play clock. Singletary will pick up 5 to the left side of the field. Washington, though, will call a timeout post-play, leaving 56 seconds left in this first half. As the Commanders look to air this one out, Noah Brown on the outside, setting up a goal to go. It'll be from just about the 10-yard line. Daniels sliding down as Bobby was coming crashing in. He's been pretty smart so far in this one, keeping himself clean. The 2nd and goal, it's Robinson down the middle, stuffed Asante Samuel Jr., getting his head stuck in there. As the defense looks to make up a change themselves here. Tight shotgun look, throw is outside, and it is Ertz with the touchdown. Commanders find themselves in front on the most promising offensive drive so far this game. They kept it steady, and they converted 3rd down after 3rd down. With very little time remaining here in the first half of play. 27 seconds for Russell Wilson and 3 timeouts. And the Giants find anything here. The throw outside is broken up. Adrian Amos. They at least don't lose too much time off that play. Coming out here now with 2 tight ends in. Right-hand side, 2 receivers to the left. A little bit of a pump fake. Wilson scrambles, trying to find some space. Takes a little bit of some contact, and a timeout called there, Coach Barrington. Now that does leave the Giants with 16 seconds here, probably needing the opposite 40, so you're about 25 or so yards away. 2 timeouts remain. Gotta at least pick up the first down here. As Bellinger drops the first down. 4th and 1 at the 32. Surprisingly, it's honestly quite risky here. The offense does stay on that field. Scattaboo the back. No hard count, they just snap it as he finds some space, powering forward to the 40. Timeout number 2 called with 7 seconds to spare. If you're going to find anything here, you got to find about the 40 as quickly as you can, leaving a minimal 1 second left. Russell Wilson snapping that ball. Will look to scramble here. And with 1 second left, it is the 46-yard line. Gano has a strong leg, but this is a long field goal. Coach Bearington will send him out. Right hash, a 63-yarder. And he did not have that one. Strength nor accuracy. Perhaps the laces were inside, but we will head to the break. 14-7. For the most part, the defenses are dominating here today. We'll take a look at the halftime report, see if we have anything exciting happening around the league here in week 1. And it starts with the Chargers and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes hands off. It's Isaiah Pacheco with a truck stick. A good stiff arm there. And I'm assuming from there, he would be gone all the way to the end zone in a 43-25 dominating victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. As for our second update, it is the Cowboys and the Eagles, two teams here in New York we very much hate. Jalen Hurts off the play action, stepping up, firing that ball down the left side. By the numbers, it is caught. And shaking one, breaking back into the inside and trotting his way to the end zone in a close battle. Eagles take that one 34-31. Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We see a handoff here. Looks to be stuffed in the backfield, but bouncing off the tackle, shaking off of a second. Travis Etienne Jr. clobbered as he does find that end zone. They hold the lead 17-7 at half. I would love to see a few of those runs come on in here in the second half as we start with the ball. Tracy and up and down first there, but still averaging about 4.5 yards a carry. Stuffed down the middle, no space. That'll definitely lessen that yards per carry to 4.2. And out the gate, Giants doing a pretty good job of stuffing the middle. More of the success running has been in between the guard and tackle or on the outside. As Wilson tries his hand, he loses a yard. Count that one as a sack for Goldman. Once again here, Giants are going to be left with a 3rd and 11. They're at the 27. They're going to need about the 37. That's how math typically works. Closer to the 38. Wilson throws outside to the right-hand side. That's Robinson with a 4th and 2 at the 35. As we've seen a few times here today, the offense staying on that field. Trips to the right-hand side. Under center is Wilson. Hard count doesn't work. They still snap that ball. Throw it outside. Slayton with the grab. Has to turn up the sideline. Sprinting downfield and pushed out at the 38. A massive play there on 4th down and staying aggressive. Has them plus side. Is Wilson making a couple changes back there. Handing this one off Tracy. Schmitz Jr. with a great block on Bobby Wags. One-on-one. It looks like Giants are going to go hurry up off of that. Trying to tie this game in the opening possession of the half. Wilson rolling to the right here. Looks to check this one down. And Tracy's going to lose 3 on the check down. Payne came flying over from that 3-tech spot or perhaps nose tackle spot. And just absolutely lights him up. 2nd and 13. Up for Neighbors here. And he drops it off the tip. Could have been a touchdown. Instead, we're staring at yet another 3rd and long. Tracy the back next to Wilson. As they look to set up a screen pass to the outside. A couple blockers in front, though. The pursuit is phenomenal for the Commanders. Butler and company there to bring him down, and that will ultimately trot out the field goal unit. Gano missed before half. This time he slots it in between the uprights, making it 14-10. With the Commanders still in front here now, they will have the opportunity to widen that lead to 2 scores with a touchdown. Field goal puts them back up by 7. Robinson kicks them off with a short gain left side. So far, definitely see the Commanders favoring more of the pass, but still getting a good bit of the running game involved. Under pressure and sack. It's Brian Burns picking up his 1st on the season, his 3rd tackle of the game. For the Giants, I'm pretty sure that is also the 3rd sack of the game. 2 for Dexter Lawrence in this one and a 3rd and 13. Daniels will look to go downfield. And Holland, you got to be on the inside of the player if you're going to jump up like that. An absolute whiff on a pick as Ertz picks up that first down. Samuel getting stuck in the run game. So far, seems like any preconceived notion of him struggling to tackle has been answered in this game with a 2nd and 10. Ertz wide open on the outside, busted coverage. Holland will get the tackle this go around. That throw and catch, that has Daniels over 150. No success on the ground there. I'd say for the most part, the run fits have been very promising. 2nd and 10, here comes Dexter Lawrence. He's back for his 3rd of the game. Quick shed. He is the leader of this defensive group, and frankly, just the whole overall team. If we could find an offensive lineman counterpart to him, a guy that could just frankly do it all, that would be a big boost to this team. But 3rd and 16. Daniels will look to scramble here, taking the contact from behind. Kendricks brings him down at the 22. And it looks to be a field goal attempt for both sides, opening up the second half of play. Right hash from about the 29-yard line. A 39-yarder is right down the middle for Gay. We could really use with this offense finding their head of steam here. Good news, Van Rotten has returned to the game. He was injured earlier. He's been out there the last couple drives. Tracy with a good cut and plows forward for the first. Now, we didn't get to see a whole lot of him in the preseason. The couple plays we did see looked pretty promising. But it does send us to the end of the third. 4th quarter awaits in a 1-score game here. A rivalry to open up the season. 17-10. As the 4th quarter officially gets underway, it is 1st and 10 at the 40 here for the Giants. They need a touchdown drive here to give them hopes of finding their way in front in this one. Tracy on the run, left side, he picks up 3. They're going to need a little bit more than just 3. With a 2nd and 7, they will look to go to the air, floating this one outside. Johnson cannot catch up to it. Instead, the cover man with plenty of speed gets underneath it. Juan Martin, the safety of the Commanders. Russell Wilson throws his 2nd interception on the day. Though not necessarily his fault, you have to hope your tight end there does more. Well, for Washington Commander fans, that is the kind of play you are looking for here in the 4th quarter, already up 7 points. Could really find a stakehold on this game with a field goal drive at the minimum. McLaurin gets his first grab. It's only 4. He's been spread around this field quite often today, so just the overall defensive backs putting in work as Debo gets caught up there by McFadden, who looks to be a bit injured on the play in his final contract year. You really don't like to see that. He'll make his way to the bench for now. That leaves a 3rd and 5, though, here for the Giants defense. A stop would be crucial as they flood one side of the field and find Noah Brown. He's been clutch for them today. 5 grabs in total, one of which has them in front here by 7 points. That's really been the big difference in this game. First half, Giants were picking up those stops on 3rd down. Second half, they've struggled. Though Burns is sat there waiting for Robinson. He loses 2 on the carry. That's just where we've seen this Giants team sit all day long. Pretty solid on 1st. 2nd down, it's 3rd down that has been a little bit concerning. Singletary with the spin. He'll pick up a couple, but it leaves 3rd and 8. Yet again, a 3rd down here. Giants need to get off the field. Singletary with a fake motion. They bring him back only to then bring over Debo Samuel into a whole lot of pre-snap movement. To not even look to run that ball, they throw it. Noah Brown this time is short. Bobby with a tackle at the 37. And that should still be field goal range, though Gay puts too much on it and sends it wide right. From the 44, it was a 54-yarder. And now both teams have missed a field goal in this game. As for Wilson with 2 interceptions on the day, he's got to feel pretty lucky right now that we still have a chance to go down the field and tie this game. As we look to start Through the air, Wilson, though, eats the shoulder of pain. That time it was Neal in the one-on-one block who just could not withhold, and he very much is not a pass blocker, which is why he was moved from that tackle position. Wilson scrambles here. He picks up a big gain, leaving just 5 needed on 3rd down. With the aggressive nature we've seen today here from Coach Bearington, even if they don't pick it up here, I'm sure the offense stays out there. Hard count from Wilson. No one buys it. Throw outside here, and Bellinger gets the grab, turning up to the 38. They do look to go hurry up from here as we're just over 3 minutes left in this game. Hardy would love to get the touchdown here quickly, leave time to get a stop on defense. Tracy, though, not getting very far, just picking up 2. They will go back to it. If you get that touchdown, you get the quick stop, you might still be able to find a lead here in regulation. But Wilson met by 4 defenders off the snap. Does look like Goldman gets there first. He'll take the foremost credit for that one. But a 3rd and 14. Tracy motions all the way to the outside. They'll look his way in open space. Tries the spin move, but a clean tackle. It's 4th and 5. Now you could kick the field goal here in hopes you then get that stop, get the ball back with time. Right now the offense stays on this field. Hard count, and they will look to go for it. Quick slant is open. Robinson with the first down as he gets clotheslined about a yard past the line to gain. That does take us through the 2-minute warning here. Need to find that end zone. And Wilson making a change out there, might see something he likes. Oregon under pressure, flipping that one to the back of Thomas. The interior for the Commanders have gotten a whole lot of pressure in this one. Haven't seen too much from the outside. 2nd and 10. As they go across, Slayton drops the pass. And Van Rotten is down again here for the Giants. The good news is it doesn't cost the Giants one of their 3 timeouts. It's surprising, I felt like it should, but does not happen. 3rd and 10. You got to find at least something here. Wilson instead finds a loss of 13. The pressure around the edge hits with Armstrong. And with the ball currently sitting at the 38. Surprisingly, they don't bring out the field goal unit to try. Hard count 1 does not work. Hard count 2 does not work. They do snap that ball. And looking down the seam, Neighbors has it, but he's short of the line to gain by about a yard. His first catch of the season nearly converts a massive 4th down in tight coverage. But with the hit coming in from the side, it stops his forward momentum. Commanders take over. Their drive begins at the 16 with 1:14 to go. You got to imagine that they're going to look to run here. Or instead, they do look to pop up for the pass. Robinson down the sideline, finally pushed out with help coming in. That does get him a little bit further down the field and wide open. You might as well go ahead and try those kind of passes. Daniels here takes the contact. Timeout called there, Coach Bearington. The Giants now have 2 more remaining. And they've got to get that ball back. They need a touchdown here to tie. 2nd and 9. They go with a quick throw. It is to Noah Brown. He has a few, but is well short of the line to gain. A 3rd and 6 awaits. And quite frankly, this really is 3rd and game. A first down would seal it. They will pop up to pass here. Throwing, Singletary has the first down. Giants will call their final timeout, but it ultimately will not change things here. Their former teammate gets the first down, and the Commanders will look to kneel out this clock. Daniels with a couple turnovers himself in this one. But ultimately, it came down to the fact we gave up too much rush, too much pressure on Russell Wilson. And we were a yard away from converting late on that 4th and long. Neighbors almost had it. You get that conversion, you might get the touchdown. We're looking at a tie game. The other option is you kick that long field goal, hit it, Try to get the quick stomp on defense, and maybe you have time to look for the go-ahead win. There were options on the table, but ultimately, we missed too many opportunities as a whole unit in this game. I don't think you could be too upset at what the defense did there today, only allowing 17 points. And it's not like what the bug says here, where it's 17-10 in the third quarter. In fact, we only gave up 3 points in the second quarter, and that was both teams. Most of the scoring was done in the first half of play. There's work to definitely do here on the offense. Russell Wilson, a couple interceptions. Neither one I really think were his fault. The first one that we threw, that one was entirely my fault. Rushed the play, threw it outside. I should have had it kind of honestly be behind him. And then the second one, that really should have been on the tight end. Johnson didn't really do much for us on that play, and because of that, he gave up the interception. Now, none of the receivers really stood out. We need to find a way to get Neighbors the ball more. And on top of that, we also need to find a way to get Scadaboo more involved. I have him listed in the depth chart as the gadget, the third down, and the power back starter. We do have Tracy listed as the running back starter, but I figured with some of the plays that we were calling, some of the formations just in general, we would have had Scadaboo out there. He wasn't. Tracy, I don't think had a bad game by any means. I mean, he averaged 5 yards a rush, and that was with the offensive line, frankly, struggling in that game on the interior. Evan Neal gave up 2 sacks, Schmitz gave up a sack, and even Andrew Thomas gave up a sack. But I think that one was more of a scrambling into the pressure, really, rather than Thomas giving up said pressure. There is a lot to improve on, but in the first game, again, I don't think we could be all too upset at what we saw out there. Now, next up, we do have the Cowboys. We start off with 2 division rivalries, and then we have the Kansas City Chiefs. And next time, I think we'll get into a couple of games. But with this being the first one to kickstart the series, really, we're going to have it be 1 game. So make sure you don't miss next time on Thursday, where we will go through at least 2, maybe 3 games. Hit that bell icon in the bottom right corner, or scroll down, hit that sub button, and also make sure you're tapping that bell icon as well so you're notified of when all these videos go live. And leave the boys a little bit of some love by smashing that thumbs up button. They very much played, I think, above what I expected against the Commanders. And I also want to try something new here. But to do that, I'm going to need your guys' help. Any questions you have for Coach Bearington on decisions made in the game, thoughts about the next game, leave it in the comments below. And if we get some good ones, we'll do kind of a press conference, if you will, at the start of the next episode to answer some of those questions. So that way you guys are a little bit more involved here in the series. But game 1 with the Giants is done and dusted. We start 0-1, but there are some good signs, and hopefully a whole lot of more good signs to come. College football will be here tomorrow. Do not have time to set up the new Cha-Cha Vaz series. That will debut next week. So make sure you're staying tuned for all the big episodes to come, and as well to see if we can find our way into the MAC Conference Championship and get a nice bowl game with Kent State. That decision day is tomorrow.